He's loud on social media but could barely be heard when he stood in front of a trinity for an audition which later metamorphosed into a moment of backlash. Did Nana Aba Anamoah, Bridget Otoo and Serwaa Amihere bully cyberbully Albert? Could they have handled the issue any better, or would you rather dedicate Reggie Rockstone's Maka to them for scolding a young man who has been spreading falsehood about them? Well, wait to hear what my able panelists have to say as we table this for a riveting discussion. I am Benefo Boabin Abrantepa, and this is Bloggers Forum on Ghana Web TV, also showing on Xylophone TV. Thanks for joining us. It's 1 hour of great company, ably supported by Cheesy Pizza. Cheesy Pizza has all you want, from juices to smoothies, jollof, fried rice, spag and meatballs. We have great deals for you all week round. Cheesy Pizza gives you the McCheesy combo every Monday and Thursday. With only 49 cedis, you get one small pizza, fries and chicken, one cola drink at all branches. Tuesdays are Super Tuesdays at all Cheesy Pizza branches. Buy your Super Family Pizza at half price every Tuesday for 40 cedis at all Cheesy Pizza branches. Be part of the midweek bonanza every Wednesday. Buy and get one free at all Cheesy Pizza branches. And also remember to start your weekend with special jollof and fried rice from Cheesy Pizza branches every Friday. Call 026-4133-397 to place your order. 026-4133-397 to place your order. Cheesy Pizza, your pizza, your way. Joining me on this episode is the man I call a legend, the man who exposed Dr. UN. He's the one who did a research on Dr. UN and noticed that this man has been operating a fishy award scheme. Abdul Karim Ibrahim is a columnist. He's an international debater. The University of Ghana will win awards. He's also a broadcast journalist with Class Media Group. Karim, thanks for joining us.
Grateful for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Yeah,
and I don't like that you never give yourself credit for that work on Dr. UN.
Oh, but you did the job.
You did the interview.
I only interviewed him.
Yes, you did the research.
You did the research. So
great
that's,
to be here.
Yeah, that's Karim. And Nana Aba Anamoah, a regular panelist. He's a director at oneplayafrica.com. Last time, no, semi-for director on the show because they can sack him at any point in time. But Nana, Omunyan Sakino, Onwa Nansha Ibiana, Obejai, because Obenya gigs are who do a muye ding pa. Nana Aba George Via, One Play Africa, former manager of Guru, Nana Ya. All the Guru songs, hit on songs in our network, Nana Aba. If you are fine.
Oh, you're fine, right? You're fine. You have we have a system where we read the budget, and the budget is to kill small SMEs in the country, and nobody's talking about it. You know, if a government tells you that we had a survey, and the survey said 40% of Ghanaians spend less than 100 cedis in mobile money transactions, and then it tells you that they are targeting SMEs because we do business over 100 cedis and you're supposed to pay 1.75 tax on it. And it's crazy. It's not just the mobile money, it's the e-transactions that we do. Also, it goes to affect music in a big way. Because for you to listen to music online, you need to have a Visa card.
Yeah.
And if they're charging you for 1.75, it means that there are going to be lesser numbers on the streams from Ghanaians. Already, people are not even using the cards in the first place. Now there's a charge on it. Those who had hopes that the iTunes, the Boomplays and the rest will probably integrate mobile money on their app services now are lost, because if they integrate it, they have to pay. You know, and so it's like it's a big thing. Nobody's talking about it. We are treating it as if it's normal. It's not. You understand?
It's a big
For a government to say I want to go into job creation with something called You Start in March and begin to tax the people even when they have not even created the jobs, it's a problem. You know, back when I say when you're economist, one cool school, to win their work, but that's the reality.
We're banning digital music.
No, it's because I'm a businessman. Like I run a small SME, so I feel it. You know, when the earlier on budget that read, yeah, I feel you, because you're a small company already. Brands are not dealing with you because you don't have numbers, you don't have a lot of things going for you. You have to pay salaries, you have to pay SNET, you have to pay tax and all that kind of thing. Then all of a sudden, boom, another one. Maybe the government wants all of us to be employed by their corporation so that the country will not run very well. Like, I don't know what they're trying to do. You understand? It's just too much. And the creative art sector, everybody is quiet on it. We do a lot of heavy e-transactions, actually, creative art industry. I'm not talking about musicians.
Yeah.
You know, you want people to go to Netflix and watch a movie, right? When it's a Ghanaian movie there, they have to use their Visa cards. It's going to affect them now. It's a transaction. You know, already the banks are killing us. And now this. You understand? So, yeah.
Right. So, okay. That's Nana Aba, director at oneplayafrica.com. Next, Amabroni is on standby with the tidbits. We call it Nkomo.
Nkomo hankasa na watwi di abranti bia we so friend journalist Albert wa trending bia mu odin ankasa eyi hu nkomo ene ne aka ene ye de ba besum nti we de ye nche kwa Amabroni ye ntwa ye hu na ne ye konyina ye mfa besum na watwi bia ni mu nsem na sa na watwi de ye da sorry ya video bia kwhwe Twitter nsem na Aba Anamoah post video bia Abufre bi as a young man be was a friend journalist Albert about audition for the next TV star GH1 program bia woye na wo say wo kwhwehwe ni mu say na say the social media na obeye bia wo kwadwuma kra wotumi dege wo information na wo ahwese na wote na wo kwhwehwe ma say na sa eya akwa ya friend journalist Albert onu no ta account bi echi a ene wo kwa trolling wo say onu wo say wo friend agenda Twitter ho an kaka nkofo nsem je say nsem ni nim kra won kita evidence on kita fact kwa no abeka gu so dwuma bi no ene fofia anto ata Nana Aba Anamoah Bridget Otoo Serwaa Amihere no mo ye judges sankofu ya wodina nanim no ba ko ya kaka kansem ehu hia mfata afa ho na Nana Aba say no so me ne ebe ye wode no se wo a wugina kwe wo so ya na kwaka Serwaa Amihere ho asem Bridget Otoo leader force no mu a wo kan ho asem ene wo ba begina nanim se wo ba eye audition for ni show ono na mbe mentor ene je wotutu bi ma akwai na akwai ni nsem ebe echi ni se Twitter fo se oh when eye se wodi edi no cause ono de bi osoro yo kan kwafo nsem won se wodi ye ne de amafuka se na eye journalist fi wan bo ho modern na eyi Albert chirema okọ eye audition ya nanim kogu asi eye nkrofu bi wo ho no de wan hyeda mbodi wo se wo de se wo sake no efi ho no man fe de nkrofu fe ni so ye kronfo ne ade nyanya kopo ne di na edi na fofia ankankanka bi nko bi be bro no no se na nsem ye de betu de no aka se no o church of nkrofu ho no onya ade nti se de Ghana fo mfa bone nche no na video yi be ye beja nkrofu kika eye Albert ya semi na boy yankasa ba house no so o pause nkrofu na wa kaka won hu semi no pe won achew na ye wo ho na ye hu se sam ono asanso abetro another post eye na edwuma o ye na nko ye edwuma wo some websites bi wan sake no na yi na ne boss kire mu so nkomo na nya sa nete o se ono Albert edwuma no wo ho no wo se wo ka se wo cho stories e bi adua na wa tro Otoo bi on bone homode nti ono a wo ka o pass sake no dada na etwa ne nsunu mu kra ne so wo ha no hu se ye Kojo Sheldon YouTuber Kojo Sheldon boy ya so drop screenshot bi eye Albert ya kokone na nsusu ankom bo anu no onye edwuma na eye Chris se ade na wo yesa wo ha se wo se wo mbo homode na wo se ye ma wo sometime kaka na so so afechi ekwa kopa edwuma fofo na ntisanka onya ase edwuma na Kojo Sheldon e repa ma na anko beja wo nti enu so eno se wa sake no nti o kire ma nya te se bia eyi ne okoye ne nti na o sake no ono anka so mbo ne homode ene etosu ebien ogu Kojo Sheldon so pedwuma nti enu so ena wo fire wo dismissing yenim san kesi wa na ye titiri bi wo krom ha se wo so eye journalist fa wo dis adwuma wan bo modern eye senior lecturer bi wo University of Ghana Legon eye Dr. Kobi Mensa Chema kofu wan follow eye ethical principles bi aye oban central adwuma me se wo fa so cause wo so bi e cyber bully obi wo social media na keka kofu nsema na video wa ba wo hwa obetu ni fo na fa kofu so atien na wo so wa kan anim sa kofu se ni na ye trolling bi na ebe yi na kofu se na wo Bridget Otoo ye nkwa ye check Twitter wo keka nkrofo hu nsem yawa ede yawa fitai wutumi ya nkrofo nti ada na obi koka bia mu pese mu gubo ene masem se ndia hakoye bebre na nso ni tietie ma ne se ye wo ho ye GH1 fo wo se won afa boy yi se won ne ba be ye campaign bi na eye Caleb ni boy ne breaking news no se say de boy ne ba anyone ba be ye adwuma Monday you cry no be start adwuma na ja na ba be chire mu so picture na ye hu se ye Albert Bolare ene ono na na ba gina ho na nye se bia won afa ne adwuma boy ne na wo pese won ne ye some campaign bi won se GH1 de mutumi ye some drug abuse na Aba Anamoah sa tramadol ne aden campaign for wo se pese wo ye wo se anti cyberbullying campaign nti ye hwe nim se na ne ye beko bia ma bro ni se onim se ye wo hase ye de komoni na e ba beso na so ye de journalist Albert ni na Aba Anamoah nsem se mi kogu a mtuni osanso ye politician Kwame A+ chema ono no so makokweku manti oso ne nsa no de no kohu mampi na do dan kweku fado no man deputy minister position A+ na edi sa adwuma no de nsem to dwa bra Arnold chema meeting ya wokoye creative art won IGP koshia no o se A+ na organize it na se anka IGP ne nkrofo wo fa appropriate authorities creative art ministry wo hono na fe ne makohu A+ na A+ o Arnold nkasa asem na wo ka no kra de bi na nka besa nka hina de di sa adwuma no mu no de to dwa so ono kra makokweku manti oji se anka IGP fa no so ono kra nu ono no so ne nsa de ko hu fa do ene wo ma ne ministerial position ene na chairman bia chairman rapper medical ne yire fela makafu na nwa bia one down fufu kra no East Legon Hills na dan 4-bedroom luxury apartment fela makafu some video bia twegu on a Zion Felix blogger call torch so church ne high kitchen high master bedroom ni ade na fela chema mu sa property amu womba 1-year-old island ne de one wo si man was what the 5 months na si dan na fela chema no womba second born na oba be wona won ne onu kra wo be si 5 to 6 bedroom apartment amana o chima elevator ni na bewum na fela de nsem YouTube dwambra wo ye housewarming party nyumtini medical mo be kai na say ya no ko ankafo ho say o social media na auditio bi ko kire ne ade na eja wonze IGP dan pare ne boys so inviting nsem no kawie akode mu kakra na medical chima o ko ankafo no niam e fa ne nusu no ese woni ense wo ka kire o so be bia wo da pa na wo so obi sebio eja ne na wo ha say nti wo abonten na wo nda prison na Serwaa abo breye koso ko di prison ho no ma o kire ma enda fem kora na wo twe bia ye tinsem na fufura ba betwem kora ne se ye numtuni AK Sunstress kire ma se ni nyomi ne hit single ba ku ye Jonathan I wo se na se twetwegu ebe ye popular pe sister ise ne hu nto ne da ena ne hu dodo no ena ne tie ne ya just why ye mre obebe petu ayare odwen ho nti ase eyi na o kire ma last name ekoi dia akwakoye ti se dudu yibi vudu yibi na obi die di no o se nimtum num no ono na tete se nkofo kaso se obe hete obe ye popular na nkofo die duru jewu ni ade wanje ndi kosi so ono akasa ohun se nnum ya chefe ma je se nkofo esonyom ni ma wo bonyom we befa radio so befa hin na nkofo di jom ene Jonathan ene na akwakoya ma fotere ma AK wo hit songs album we release won nyina wan yare na wo amafo ye che denim but AK Sunstress chair numu ya ye wo yimu wo fo de eduru na eje nkofo hit songs broadcast journalist Bridget Otoo so they are to just say we obia na won frɛ wo se we ya hyawo ni jantre ni tutu ni nia ene untumi fa sense wo buka se we obia o se krom ha de akwakoye se obia bia wa bɔ ne bra hu se we ya well established wunya bibie hu sa kɔwa na wo kɔba na manfo bo de se we ya hyawo ni o se duma ewo ma no nti ono de se de mpo de mfa ne ho cause wo bɔ din se we ya hyawo ni na se wo nya hyawo ni entetare wo hu nti sa asɛm na ya wo ka ne kwa de ama manfo nti emfa nya asɛm Stoneboy chema panso ono ordinary beto aye gamro nsem do onye bida o se gamro sem wo ho mpemfo amotena o se mu ye executive mu nim kwan asem mo fa so right way amu beje royalties na so mu nye adwuma mo tete position nim keke nti o so ono de se o si so say 2000 Ghana cedis ya wode man as royalties e no pe na weje no eno no de o de suani nyansa but panso be ka aye gamro ho asem na kwakwa ese de bia o kan wa asem de debi onye bida wo kuda ya na aye finance minister Kenofo reata budget 2022 budget ekotu aye parliament nim na nsema ba beto dwane se de abeje tax fofo kra I we say electronic tax we say we mobile money transaction bank ne ade say adwumadi ni a wo betua 1.75% of tax na say me dey mafo bebre a kire mu wan so wo de betu do say yes to and I say dey unam kroma wuntua to biem na say me na actually they are forcing chema akoye say Ghana ha say mu say ye nche de ntia tax na ade nyete ye na ye mpese ye tua o bang na ye ni arehye wo mu cause tax amajejeje kan ye atwam na sa tax mu de ye deg na answer number be sorry so na ye Nigeria ni nwumtu ni Davido na we yinkonya bi wo social media Davido unum say November ye nche kwa abedi ni birthday na so so okra some Rolls Royce bi afia manoni aba Nigeria nti o so ono de industry de won say amanfo say Davido de wa bo ankofo bebre nti o say na nyankofo won kire no do nti obi anse ne 1 million naira ento ne account na amanfo ye nim say we di anka ye de enye ibia be hye amanfo say ye Nigeria fo nimtofo brands or your advert ma one ye collaboration amanfo send this key just say ne obi say 1 million naira ne kwa ebrobulum send ne ebrosa na amanfo say de ye ko check-ins currently ye just say bi beba nyanso ye hwehwem sesi a 155 million naira ne sesi de wenya so ye song so be Joe Biden US dollars modia $376,000 kana make am kana bi wo mankasa na Davido nya asa donation amanfo ka say Ghana has say artists and assets in 20 benefits in bu akacha man so mo say na 1 million Ghana cedis no mo be send na man say we di ankasa ko de betumi aye ebidum say we di anka kokokra ma Shatawale ne fan man for dey say Chrome has say Ghana ha ye we celebrity benefits in bu aye ne Davido aye ye obenye ska wenye an say na wo dwen ho na say de na wo twede onum sama broni ensam ne bebre na edo so journalist Albert ne ekọ nyina me de besom nti abrante pa wonu abedwafanya na watwe de mamu nsom keke muni mi mobile money number mu mpe kaka na mu fan send him na me fan kopodwe amabroni makram.
Thanks Amabroni for the tidbits we call it in Komo mumu ni de yes and this is your betie 1.70 but they say you know 101 right. So for more of these stories visit our website www.ghanaweb.com. Let me begin with Karim. Let's see which of the stories you want to run with.
Well, I'm interested in what Bridget Otoo has been saying. I mean, I won't attempt to speak for any woman because quite obviously my experiences are very different. But if you live here in Ghana and you observe public discourse, you would appreciate that she is making a very, very important point. And all of us need to do better because there are just about too many things that if you are a man, you can get away with. If you are a woman and you are not the Proverbs 31 woman and you are a Bridget Otoo, Nana Aba Anamoah, I mean, name them, Felicity Nelson, you're going to be in trouble. And oftentimes, your trouble doesn't come as a result of the content of what exactly it is that you're putting out. It's largely as a result of some expectations of you to behave, to be submissive, to know your place. Because, I mean, you're a woman. How dare you come out there, talk about anything, and be so aggressive as any other person? And so oftentimes, even though, I mean, yeah, everybody gets overboard one time or the other. People maybe insult one time or the other. But you would notice that for the average woman, there's not room for you to be assertive, to be strong, and to put your views across in a manner that doesn't seek to first and foremost appeal to people and their sensibilities first. And so I think she has a very, very good point here. And also, within the context of everything that is happening now, our favorite now turned celebrity Serwaa bully. If you look at the conversation around it and all of that, I can get it, but I really, really appreciate it. And I think that for all of us, especially as men also, we need to do better.
Nana, I mean, you say, I say, I say, me predict, say, we need their force in every boss. But
you know, but on on a more serious note, you know, we have to take charge and go for accountability. You know, you don't have Baumia sit on radio and national radio and say that you don't have to tax the mobile money. You know, and then next minute you have a tax levy on e-transactions and mobile money is heavy tax. And you know, then they say the poor. Who is the poor? Define the poor in this context here. You can't define the poor because if you say a market woman spend a lot of money. My mom is a market woman. You know, they even do heavy transactions over mobile money. First, they didn't even understand what they were doing with the mobile money. Now they are trying to understand it. Now there's a tax on it. You understand what I'm trying to say? Yeah, and we run, like if you come to One Pillar Africa, we have something called market. So people do online purchases and stuff from us, and we have to go to the market and get the product. You have any products you want to sell, you can just go to the website and put it there, and people can buy. Now it's hard to go and explain to the woman that meto into is not 5 now, meto into is 5 cedi now mommy 5 she say okay send them amount. You get me? Because you're sending the money on Momo. What am I saying? You see uncle but we had a word for it, paperless. Yeah. How do we go paperless if
cashless society? You know,
cashless, and how do we do that if you have 1.75 on you every time? Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
How do we do that? You know, youth must call for accountability, and we need that. We need to hold them for their words. And yes, one day they say, "You say for taking a bath." What am I saying?
Yeah.
But I want to talk to the artists, Stoneboy especially, for saying that Gamro knows what to do, and so he's tired of talking about it. I agree with him. It's frustrating that a group of old men who claim to understand certain system have been put in position to work for the system to be better, and they are not doing what they are supposed to do. It's very painful, especially when the people they represent are doing everything, you know, in their power to make sure that they do their part to bring them something to do for their service. Assuming every artist say that I will not release music anymore, you know, just imagine what will happen to the people who work at Gamro. Next to zero. They might probably have to shut down the business and, you know, fold up and all that. So I understand him. You know, I understand. I will say, unfortunately, that is not what is happening. And the big kick is that I was telling somebody in my office that the artist, when it comes to the creative sector, is not the most important creative person in the sector. But when it comes to the music, they are the most important. Because when they get a big cake, everybody gets a slice of the cake into a soubiaso. You get me?
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. So assuming that the way they showed up for the IGP, they decide that even though we know you guys are old men, you know what you have to do. We are going to pull up on you, like I said last week on the show, several times for you to do what is right. Tell us what the problem is. We know there are some mafias and some backdoor conversations where I know for a fact, per mathematics on the digital stores and everything, that if Gamro should work properly, every media house averagely will spend a lot of money on paying for music usage. So, I mean, there are some conversations that goes on behind doors, you know, stuff like that. You hear, these are all things that you hear from people in that sector or in that circle. It may be true, it may not be true. I'm not saying it is what is there, but we hear those conversations. So I can understand it, but they have to work on it. They have to, because it's not for today. Today, you know, you are okay. Tomorrow, it's for tomorrow. These monies that come from Gamro says like our SNIT for creative people. It's for your future. You know, it's for your 2 kids. You understand? So they have to work on it. They shouldn't just say, oh, excuse me, Gamro knows what to do, and you know, they have to work on it. They have to go to the guys and sit down and have a conversation. If not, the AJ is there. Go to the AJ, make your complaint. Go with, you know, don't just go with empty hand. Go with some document. You can do some white paper. You understand? Do some white paper and have all your data analysis and all your research into it, and say that, listen, these are the reasons why this particular body is not working. So can we have another CMO in the country to help us? Would you get it?
Yeah.
If not, artists are supposed to feed ideally, they feed over, if I'm not over exaggerating, they feed close to 20 people with one revenue in their hand. What am I saying? Yeah. Over 20. Say, scanner be doing in same 19 na kano.
No,
exactly. What am I saying? Until someone tries to get it together. It's the unity that will change this. Believe me. They put up for the IGP. They showed up for the IGP. Why can't they come together as a unified body and go to Ghana continuously and change
all right, stuff? Okay. So that's Nana Aba Anamoah is a director at oneplayafrica.com. We will take a quick break. When we return, it's all about Nana Aba Anamoah, Bridget, Otoo, Serwaa, Amihere, and journalist Albert. It's Bloggers Forum on Ghana Web TV, also showing on Xylophone TV.
Hello there, my name is Joel Eshen, the host of Friday Debate right here on Ghana Web TV. On the 27th of November 2021, I'm inviting you to join the Ghana Web staff as we embark on the Ghana Web Road Safety Campaign to help save lives. We'll be meeting at 6 a.m. at the Legon Preseg bus stop and we'll be ending at East Legon. Come in your numbers and join us in our quest to save lives on our streets. I hope to see you there.
The Ghana Web Road Safety Walk is proudly sponsored by Somoko Ghana Limited, Venom Mineral Water, and the Lish Restaurants. From the dawn of time, people have engaged in several businesses. With the onset of technology and innovation, life has relatively been made easier. By using debit or credit cards,
mobile banking.
Thank you. And your favorite, mobile money?
Tech has indeed married business. On BizTech, we spend time with faces behind known and upcoming businesses in the country.
Learn more about the new technologies and innovation,
as well as find out about the trending issues in the world of business.
Join us as we serve you with a variety of compelling interviews, projects, and others right here on Ghana Web TV.
Present your political show.
Welcome to another edition of has a blog fact, so I don't think I'll be.
You write
facts.
When you write this, hey Serwaa, we know what you've been up to in this country. What do you know?
Where did you pick that from?
That is your Twitter page.
Okay.
That
Twitter is about agenda.
What's this agenda? So in other words, it's about fooling and saying stupid things. That is meant to tarnish someone else's image. What's this factual about what you've written about Serwaa?
I mean, Twitter is a different world, you know.
How? Twitter?
Get that right. You can't even spell am I. You can't even spell it. Yet you think you can sit behind a phone and write crap on Twitter about people. Simple am I. You can't spell it. But that's not the point. You question people's relevance. How relevant do you think you are? Because I've seen tweets of you rubbishing Lydia Forson too.
I need to get the source of. I mean,
it's your phone. Your phone is in your pocket.
So you said you deal with facts. Yes. No, Living Rose just on October saying that the 4.5K issue that person is paid more than you at GH1 TV.
Do you know my salary?
How did you know?
That's why I'm telling you that what you see on Twitter is different from.
When you sit on Twitter and you write utter nonsense about people. You've said horrible things about me, Serwaa, Lydia Forson, Bridget, other people on your Twitter. Here I am. Say it to my face.
Why should I?
Why shouldn't
you?
Because Twitter is not real life.
I have always said that people who bully people, when they see them, they can't even talk.
You can't even.
You are a very clear example of those people.
You can't. If you sit on Twitter and you say that it's a different life, and you can insult Lydia Forson that you haven't met before, and you meet her, you will go shush. You can't speak like right now.
Because it looks like when you meet real human beings, You can't express yourself.
You cannot. You go back on Twitter and write crap.
Yes.
Go ahead. I don't care. But the thing is, you couldn't say it to my...
Welcome back to the show. It's Bloggers Forum on Ghana Web TV, also showing on Xylophone TV. So you saw the video clip of journalist Albert being scolded by Nana Aba Anamoah, Bridget, Otoo, and Serwaa Amihere when he showed up for an audition. And Kofo P, Amanfo P, actually, Omadrin, he say they could have done better. Benzo say, say, oh, there's this a candidate. Kokraman Ferry, so basically, so Ferry say, oh, dear, Sawa Bishim. Let me begin with Karim. You've been following this conversation. It's a straight question. I mean, did they go overboard?
Unfortunately, I'm not really interested in that. So the answer to that will be a very difficult one for me, whether or not they went overboard. I think that's entirely up to them to choose how they want to approach that.
Okay.
However, I have my own views on what they did and what I think the implication of that is for expression broadly, for public discourse, and for the position that they sought to put themselves in. More or less to say that, see what has happened to this person. If you are out there and you think you can say whatever you want about whoever on the internet, watch, because one day you may need someone. That I have a challenge with.
Okay.
If they are taking a cane to whip him or drag him on the floor or punch him in the face, I'd be not interested in any of that. They could deal with all of that with the Ghana Police Service or whatever. And so the question of whether overboard or not, I'm not really moved by that. But what I'm moved by is what I've just talked about in respect of what that means and whether or not in the grand scheme of things they are any different from what they are complaining about. To that extent, I do not think they are.
Let's expand that conversation.
So, for me, I think that generally, I could agree that, I mean, life is hard. This world that we're all here, I mean, I've made this point time and again. This table that exists here is not a sentient being. If you hit it, there's no pain. It doesn't have to wake up every morning and look for food to eat and all of that. That's perhaps what all of us were at some point in the scrotum or the scrotal sac of our fathers or something like that. Eventually, something kicked in, we became whatever we are. So life is hard. So ordinarily, I would hope that whatever that we do it in a manner that would not bring displeasure, pain, difficulty for anybody. To that extent, if you live on the internet or wherever, I would hope that you bear in mind the sensibilities of people, and if you are so minded to respect that and say things about them in a way that would not cause them some disaffection or pain. That said, I have absolutely no problem whatsoever with insults, with sitting wherever and saying whatever you want about people. The line, obviously, for me, is when you lie. I mean, when you lie about somebody, you have entirely made up something about them in a way that is unfair to them. But when you insult people, I have absolutely no problem with that. And if it so happens that you are at the receiving end of something like that, and you do not like it, I think you're also at liberty to fight back in any way that you want, including when that person appears before you somewhere someday, or you meet them somewhere someday, and you decide to, I mean, have your revenge with them and all of that. But the point is that while you have the right to exact revenge in any way that you want, you should also bear in mind that the rest of us have every right whatsoever to also interrogate your response to that, because that's how society works. That's the life that we live. And the reason this is very important to me is because, and that's the mistake we often make, is that we treat issues in isolation. We don't understand and appreciate issues in proper perspective and context, and to know that for every single deed that happens, especially when it has to do with other people, there's implications on what we do going forward. So I told you that I knew you were going to call me for this particular discussion because of some views that I'd shared. And I made reference to another journalist. I mean, because of your platform, I don't want to mention names and then you have to go and deal with all of that. But yes, there's a journalist here in this country, I mean, very respected, very senior journalist, who has also made a similar point some time ago, that somebody called him too known or insulted him on social media, and then later on in his life, this person appeared before him for an interview because he was seeking a job at a place that he was a boss at and all of those things. Ultimately, the young person who appeared before him for that job did not get it. The reason why that person did not get the job was not because he was not qualified, even though the job had to do with social media management and all of that. His reason was not that maybe based on your temperament and all of that, I can't give you the job. It came strictly to, you didn't show respect to me. And this is my platform also. So I'll do with you as I please. I think that is nonsense. And that's precisely what I saw in the video or the interaction between the three ladies, judges, who also happened to be victims of this guy who had come before them. Because the point is this: if there exists an open opportunity and you are placed in a position of leadership or trust to scrutinize, to engage, and to select, among other things, you are expected to objectively do that job. And so if at that moment a personal vendetta, and I do not trivialize the pain that you might have endured as a result of that at all, but the point is that when you are in that position and then someone appears before you and you engage them in that manner, then quite clearly you're not any different. And more importantly also, you could, for instance, decide not to give that person the job. That's fine. But when you put that out, and as we know, this is an interview process for a TV series yet to air. But somehow, that part of it came out. It came out for what reason? To send a message that we got him. And for those kinds of things, you see them in despotic regimes: China, Russia, Saudi Arabia, Iran. Those are the kinds of guys who always like to send a message to someone that, we've seen you. You can't hide behind this internet and do whatever you want. We are watching you. One day you will need us. When you come, we'll do this to you. That is nonsense, because at that point, it is not about the Albert guy again for me. It is about every other person. It's about all the people who are empowered by the anonymity that the internet creates. All the very, unknown people who are able to express themselves in any way that they want on the internet. Because if you look at all the events that have unfolded afterwards, and this very sham, very fraudulent cyberbullying campaign that they are on right now, if you look at all of that, ultimately, what that comes down to is that none of them really cared about any principles here. It was not about cyberbullying, because I reject that nonsense about cyberbullying between some unknown journalist, Albert, blogger from wherever, and Nana Aba Anamoah, Serwaa, Amihere, or whoever. That's not how bullying, just check the dictionary, that's not bullying. There must exist a certain power relations, asymmetrical power relations. It doesn't mean that a nobody cannot hurt someone else. I can hurt the President of the Republic of Ghana, but another Danko cannot sit anywhere and say, me, I'm bullying. With what?
With your words.
But that's not bullying.
That's what?
No, I could be abusive, but that's not bullying. Bullying is in context. If we're going to use it, we need to use it right. Because my challenge with that is, if we don't take care, we destroy words and their meanings. And then those things will not matter anymore to the people that those things apply to.
In the case of Serwaa Amihere,
yes.
The post that they read,
yes.
There was one that said, Serwaa Amihere, we know what you are doing in this country and all that.
Yes.
And Serwaa has come out to say that some of these comments at a point could make people suicidal. In fact, she has shared her experience.
I don't dispute that at all.
So in that case,
I think that's obviously very abusive. And I mean, if you run through the gentleman's activity on social media, especially in respect of how he has engaged other people, I think you can see a trend of perhaps even sexism in there, because overwhelmingly his victims, if you want to call them that, appear to be women. So yes, it is abusive, it is not nice, it is not good, but it is not bullying, in my view.
Okay. Nana, Yao, George, Dia. Nana,
yeah, fine. Nana, meet you. There are 3 parts to this conversation. I have every time I run away from conversations elsewhere, and I come here. Because I've received calls from people on radio and all that, especially because I'm a content creator.
Yeah,
I'm one of the best we have in this country.
Definitely, no doubt.
So I understand content and I know how to monetize content. See, people don't understand. There's a way you market content, and it's a way you monetize content. It's a way you sell content. You know, so I understand. But this conversation is big. It's in 3 parts. I'll start with the first part. The people the boy talked about on his Twitter space, right? Who are they?
They are broadcasters.
They talk about
people and issues.
And somebody spoke about
their issues.
And they got angry at
someone, let's put it, I mean, they say that the guy peddled falsehood about them.
Relax.
Okay.
So let me begin again.
Okay.
The people, the guy talked about, they are who?
Broadcasters.
They talk about
people and issues.
And the guy spoke about them. And they got angry.
Lies.
So let's say the president also says, I'm doing a meet the press, right? And then and the president orders, I want people like A, B, C, D, E, F, G to come to the press, to the meet the press. And then Abantepa, you get there and you say, ask a question. Then the president says, you cannot ask a question. You, Abantepa, you sat on your platform on Bloggers Forum. And I will come more you can't ask a question. Do you know what happened in this country?
What happened?
They will say the president has abused his power against you and he's trying to prevent media from doing their job. That's my first part. I'm not going to explain plenty. Second part. Second part is when you have a picture and it's on your phone, how many people see it?
If I don't show it to you, I'm the only one that sees it.
Okay, what is social media? By virtue of a layman definition, what is social media?
It's a platform
for people to socially interact.
For people to interact and network.
Okay, so I've worn a nice dress. To me, it's nice. I've taken a picture. I could have sent it to my wife. I didn't. I jammed my wife and I went to put it on a public platform. It went into a public platform and it's there. And I'm expecting that Karim, Abantepa, and everybody who is following me will write, oh wow, what a nice shirt, what a nice picture on a public space. It hasn't happened. If you wanted compliments, if you want people to hype you, praise you, that's how come if you use an iPhone, they say create family. You can create a family texting group. You can put a picture there and they will say, oh wow, nice shirt. Right?
Yeah.
Once it goes into a public space, you are not you cannot control what everybody tells you.
But it doesn't mean you should tell me that you, Abantepa, we know how you got this thing.
You see, I'll come to that's my third part. Okay. That's even the worst part of the whole. That's even the hilarious part of the whole conversation. Okay. You know what? Listen, when a broadcaster like Karim is interviewing a guest and it wants to ask the guest, "Are you corrupt?" and Karim cannot ask the person, "Are you corrupt?" because the person will feel offended. You know what they do? They play around. They do a zigzag with you. So they do what many broadcasters do, like the guessing game. And they throw in a question about corruption and you answer. Then they play another card of corruption and you answer. Then, now if you are smart and you're in a chair, they're trying to tell you that you yourself, you have a question mark on you. you know what I'm trying to say? If you don't put out the thing that will make me say that this is what I think of you, I wouldn't have anything to say. People do that. Like I put something on Facebook recently. I did a post. We are on set as one player. We are filming some 25 series episodes from 3 different shows, and I went to do a personal emotional post about how YouTube is milking us, and as a tech entrepreneur myself, I feel like local industries to support. Do you know what somebody wrote to me? I'm being selfish. Abuwa. Now YouTube for makoto service nika. Why not say can I'm makoto service nika? Is that bully? You're laughing.
Like the thing is.
Once the thing, I wrote it.
It's funny and sad at the same time.
I wrote it on my notepad.
No, but
if I wanted Karim to give me a good response, and I said, Karim, read this thing for me. It be true. This is the repass. But I overlooked Karim, and I chose a public space. You understand what I'm trying to say? And therefore, any and everybody has something to say in their own way how they see it. You know that what you're wearing. If you do a survey in the room and ask people what color are you wearing, you'll get people giving you different answers to what you're wearing. Exactly. It's the same thing. You understand what I'm trying to say? So think about it. The third one is morality. The biggest hypocrisy, religion, church, government in Ghana. Morality. I feel that we have to understand, on social media, there's no morality. What is moral to you is not moral to me. What is clean to you is not clean to me. And you cannot force me to see it your way. So if Yao say me, hey, I don't want Abatepa to insult me, I will not go and put up a picture, put up a post that insinuates that Sebi fraud, right? Then I'm always showing money. I'm always, you know what I say? Obit mathematics say, per mathematics no. Omo Game Boys and son of one so moye. Nana ya one play now and I say, oh the year fraud. Obet try me post I say. I expect the boy to know that hey, only me. You know who I am? Like morality. Only me. How dare you talk to me like that? Now only me. Open morality. Your papa, my sister, or brother.
Is that to say you don't see anything wrong with cyberbullying?
You people mistake cyberbullying for this thing, Charlie. What is that? Do you know what is cyberbullying?
Into where is cyberbullying?
No, it's not.
Have you Googled cyberbullying?
Oh, maybe Sassem.
No, Google cyberbullying.
Oh, Nana.
Look at the meaning of cyberbullying.
Nana, they say the guy is a cyberbully, and that's even based on that.
Can you explain to you, sir? When you use it's
abusive
words. Listen. Yes, in the bigger context, harassment and all that online. It's like a stalker can be a cyberbully to you. He stalks on you to make sure that you feel bad of yourself.
Okay.
Right? This is somebody who has come out to say that I speak bluntly and openly about how I feel about things. I read one. That was he said it to my friend, a female broadcaster. I felt very sad. So when I called the person, I called the person and said, are we okay? I said, normal, yeah. And I said, you can't get sense, and I was like, wow. I said, oh yeah. When people come on our shows and we're having a conversation, we be able to pray them to go into it. Broadcasters go into people's homes, marriages. The media has become the law court. Do you know that in Ghana? When people have issues in their marriages, you need to buy about vetting, I say what properties no. Which platforms were discussing the thing? It was the media. People in the media act like they are judges and things. Someone on called school case here. Someone on be phone lines. Now you judge a man for case. When she said, I was like, wow. I said, yeah. When people come on my show, and I'm talking to them one-on-one, and I can go and ask them, how is your wife? How has my wife got to do with what I'm here for? But he's supposed to answer. If he jumps the question, I will go back and come and ask again, how is your wife?
I'll even ask in a different way.
Exactly. If you can know what to say.
Tell your wife day.
Exactly.
What's up?
Or if you can also by the hint say akwawe. You must want to get be na say.
Yeah.
You wasn't. Media na call to. What am I saying? Say obi mean stuff to you on Twitter. Me go school kese say as me catch am say me invest in Mankobi. What am I saying? Me high SIS. But me say me di watem e wa branch e pa show so bloggers forum. Now one pair. What's the name you notice? Member be retracted on the same
platform.
Yes, sir. Oh
yeah.
Can I go somewhere else and go and retract it? I have to come back to the same platform, right? Okay, so I said something to you on Twitter. You didn't like it. Maybe you blocked me, and I've come to do an audition on a different platform, and you are there. That's where I clap for Karim. You feel that because I have come on your space now, you can use your power, Debbie, to intimidate me, to scare me, to make me feel less of myself by telling me you can't even spell am I. Maybe tell me school mentor, but I want to mean content, so maybe too.
If I could just add something to what Nana just said. So, for me, that is where my issue really rests. Because you see, like I was explaining earlier, I mean my background is in sociology. That's for everything. That's how I try to understand it. When what happened, the impression that is put out there is that we are watching, we can see you. Eventually, you will come around. You need help somehow. That's a very important thing that nobody should miss. Because when you have, and again, you see, that element about morality that Anna talks about, and I hate that it looks like when you take a contrary view on this matter, and your commentary is not obsessed with doing the obvious thing to condemn the young man, then perhaps you are condoning or supporting him.
In my office, I had that.
It's an entirely different thing altogether.
The day I think about, it was a hot argument in my office, and I was listening to young people say that, and they are all speaking emotionally, like they're all. And I've been there before, you know. There are people who would tell you about that, like when the IGP case came, my lawyer called me and said I shouldn't speak on it, and I was like, why? He said, oh, well, if you don't go and we crash, I'm warning. I said, if you don't go and talk well, one day.
To use against you.
No use against you, but in a second, normal. One day you go and meet Karim in a position of, and he's in a position of power, and then he will look at you and say, you have been talking ill about us. Today you are here, and everybody around Karim will not even tell you that no, he's here on a different mission. They will all support him.
And for me, but that's a culture that we must not condone. And
Karim, we cannot change it.
No, the reason unless
you order.
And the reason I'm interested in that is, you see, if you know and appreciate how our interactions shape things, including our norms and all of that, you would realize that between Nana Aba, Serwaa Amihere today, or say a Bridget Otoo, or the many of those guys out there, very famous and all of that, and this young man at the other end of things, between the two of them, the one who has the power and the platform to influence beliefs, norms, laws, and the way we do things, it's not the young man, it is them.
Exactly.
That is why their reaction or response is of
that is why even the S triggered. That's why even the S triggered all these things.
It's of interest to me the more, because ultimately, if what they did becomes the norm, then what that means is that it's not just them, it is every other person who is watching, and what that means for how they also go about things. It should never be the case that we silence people and censor people in that manner because of prospective benefit, because of your potential benefactor, your potential employer. So today, if you sit behind your laptop, your phone, and you have the edge to say something, including insulting anybody, you should not do it for that fear, because that amounts to censoring free expression, and that is not something that we must entertain. We must not allow fear.
Abante,
no.
Let me wrap up.
Yes, see, let me wrap up. I was coming to that.
The thing is, I don't support what. Let me make it. Let me state it clear.
What do you get from that?
I don't support what the boy did or the tweets the boy made. But me, if I make a star, me will be a me can you wasem. Obiti me by me inbox me be dim yatem. When I think one of your episodes here, I received a threat from a fan of one celebrity that I spoke of.
Yeah,
Very bad.
You told me.
Oh yeah, the LGBT matter. I got some.
The person forgot that. The person forgot that me I'm into tech.
Yeah.
And to make me a track you. But you see, the thing is, that is the person's opinion to the opinion I shared. So if I take it literal, I'm being stupid. Because I come on your show and you ask me how was Shatawale's demeanor, and I said Shatawale's demeanor was very sad. That's my opinion. I'm saying that to someone's father who will see my post, my video, and say, "Hey, this boy power they trash me like that." Somebody to see the thing I said and felt like, "No, you shouldn't say that to Shatta. You too. If I catch you, I'll go beat you." Me my own averse. I call police. Shatta will make it take come cool because it be Wale. It's not done like that. Now, when me and Wale meet, all my equals my friends, they will tell you, when me and Wale meet, we will meet and I will do whatever I have to do for Shatta, not based on what the boy said to me, what I have said, because that is not the area at which, or the context at which we were having our conversation. What am I saying? I'm saying that the boy came at you on Twitter, right? He came for an audition. It has nothing to do with what he said on Twitter. You could have lashed the boy on Twitter. It ends there.
Let's not forget, the guy said he writes facts. So that was what triggered it.
Like I said, when you have something on your phone and you don't share it, it is for you alone.
No, but I'm saying,
Darby, you cannot question the boy's facts.
No, wait.
I said you cannot question the boy's facts.
I'm telling you the premise of this whole thing. The guy says he writes facts, and they referred him to what he has written that is false.
So, listen, this journalist, this podcast, they are confusing themselves. I don't want to. I've been wondering, if you let me fill it, and I will talk things for you. Maybe the next case I'll get caught. Listen, how many times haven't we had issues with political people coming to say this thing you said about me was false? Retract. How many times? Speak. You are a broadcaster. You are hosting a show. How many times?
A number of times.
Are we saying that there are people who sat there, Bridget, Nana Aba Anamoah, or Serwaa Amihere, when we go into the archives, we will not have them say something against somebody that they have retracted before? What are you talking about? Like I said, listen, we are doing a show here. If this show doesn't air, nobody will come and insult me. Nobody will come at me and say, what you said, I don't agree with you. What you said, I don't agree with you, right? If I also don't want to be told in my face that what I said was wrong, I don't have to pick a car from my office and come and sit here to speak. If you cannot take the fact that you talk about people and people will talk about you, and that you have to take yours in good faith as you're telling people to take theirs in good faith, then we have a problem. Because broadcasters do worse. And it has been proven time with that number that they always tell them to go back and retract. Open say any examples is here. So suitcases, so artists so muke.
Aye, Mati.
Aye. I don't swear. You can because one me call her there there's something that I want to draw people's mind to, right? What Nana Aba Anamoah them did.
Okay.
I want to clap for them.
After criticizing them, you want to clap for them?
Yes, I want to clap for them. Let's clap for them.
I need to know why you want to clap for them before I join you.
It is something that is happening and it's not being shown to the public. People are being referred to what they have done to people, and therefore what is due them are not being given them. Think about it. You dare not speak, like Karim said, like I am a small SME. When you called me, what did I tell? I said, Manaya said I shouldn't do what?
Yeah, talk.
Because of what? Because I've sent content. So what it means is that if this show happened to be, this is my part, happened to be on Twitter and it goes, let's say, viral, they will not respond to me, right? Maybe the person will not respond to me. But I will go into a conversation where I have to go and meet a certain person. And then I will be told, I bet you are here. Maybe at my time, there will not be cameras, they won't film it, but they will tell me and they will say, no, we can't give you the business.
Okay.
And at the point, that's why I'm saying I want to clap for them, because you see, they have also done something. They have drawn people's mind, right? To the fact that people are using their power in a certain wrong way and to prevent people from getting what is due them.
Okay.
Let me just end by saying this. Assuming the boy had performed better on the next TV star, sincerely speaking, on a scale of 0 to 10, do you think they would have picked the boy? That's the question. That is why I'm clapping for them. Because you see, people go to conversations on Twitter, Facebook, comments. These days, people talk about people a lot, and they go and put their CV somewhere, and then they say they are checking your social media. When they check your social media, they say, oh, the things you write on the social media, the brand does not conform with it. Instead of the branch to say, if we employ you, you have to change certain ethics about you. They say the work training, you know, obi baby or say the watch on and then a meeting a human abo. That is what they have exposed.
Okay.
Maybe we are looking at it from one point of view. Oh, the cyber bully. What about what Nana Aba Anamoah them two did? That people are losing deals, people are losing businesses, money, and jobs because of something or a certain relationship. Hey, because baby, I say, who's your father? Oh, my father is Mr. Dia. Tamane is one of many people. So I say, me now, ya frobi, ya sere. Why, I say, my son can't come up and Baha. No, Master, I say, call infringement and judgment. Meanwhile, you qualify. But I know they say in Jamba Kama, so it will be here. So I clap for them. They've done well. At least going forward, maybe people will learn from it and say that these days you cannot hide anything. Maybe they did it to mock the boy, but they've actually exposed a bigger part of our society. And it's not just in creative arts or TV and radio. It's every part of this country, from corporatism to everywhere. It's everywhere. So I clap for them. They've done very well.
Mati, Karim, let me get your final words. I hope we do that real quick.
Yeah.
Yes.
So for me, I think that ultimately, it's really about the lessons for society for me, because after all, what have we not seen right now? The gentleman is an ambassador for a very non-existent campaign against cyberbullying. All that you see here is that how can we cash in on this? At that point, every principle about whatever that even got him to be denied an opportunity to even try whether or not he qualifies to train to become a journalist and all of that, he has received everything back. Because I'm sure that when management of GH1 sat back and thought about it, Kevin Taylor is promising a job, Zion Felix is granting an interview and his YouTube is going to shoot up. Abantipa is calling him on Ghana Web TV for an engagement. They realize that we need to also get something. So it is never about the principles. When for those kinds of people, what really gets them angry is that they ask themselves, who is this non-entity that is sitting somewhere and insulting me? It is not about the insult that they have a problem with. It's about the disrespect and contempt.
It's about morality.
That's why ultimately, at this juncture, if I am invited into that conversation, my interest is not in defending some very unprincipled people because their feelings are hurt. I empathize with them. I would hope that nobody would insult them or lie about them in that manner. But the way that they themselves interact with that particular problem shows to me that they are really not interested in dealing with cyberbullying or some insult and all of that. At the point where they realize that an opportunity exists, they have opened their arms, they are embracing it, they're going to work with this same gentleman that they said all manner of things about and all of that. And that is where my problem is.
Right, so that's how we end this episode of Bloggers Forum. A reminder that the show has been brought to you by Cheesy Pizza. Cheesy Pizza has all you want, from juices to smoothies, jollof, fried rice, spag and meatballs. We have great deals for you all week round. Cheesy Pizza gives you the McCheesy combo every Monday and Thursday. With only 49 cedis, you get one small pizza, fries and chicken, one cola drink at all branches. Tuesdays are Super Tuesdays at all Cheesy Pizza branches. Buy your Super Family Pizza at half price every Tuesday for 40 cedis at all Cheesy Pizza branches. Be part of the midweek bonanza every Wednesday. Buy and get one free at all Cheesy Pizza branches. And also remember to start your weekend with special jollof and fried rice from Cheesy Pizza branches every Friday. Call 026-4133-397 to place your order. 026-4133-397 to place your order. Cheesy Pizza, your way. Before we draw down the curtain for this episode, let me remind you that the Ghana Web Road Safety Campaign is still ongoing. On November 27, we all converge at Presec Legon, 6 a.m. and then we'll march to Delis Restaurant at East Legon. We want to campaign against road accidents so that we'll reduce the rate of accidents on our roads. Road accident is claiming lives and property. So kindly join us. But even before that, if you see anything that poses as a threat or danger to lives and properties, kindly alert us. We are interactive on all social media platforms. The handle is at the Ghana Web. Alternatively, send us an email, newswires NEWS@GhanaWeb.com. NEWSWIRES@GhanaWeb.com. And then we will let the authorities know about it. Thank you for watching this episode of Bloggers Forum. I've been on the show with Abdul Karim Ibrahim. Karim is a columnist. You also watched or heard the voice of Nana Radio. He's a director at OnePlayAfrica.com. It's been yet another riveting edition of Bloggers Forum. I am Benefo Boabin Abrantipa.